Hey, check it out, Hammer fam. Welcome back to HammeredHead. Today we got the Utapaun Warrior from the Revenge of the Sith Collection. This guy looks pretty freaky, but I love me some background characters, so I'm really excited about him. He's got a few accessories. Looks like we got a shield headpiece and a staff-looking thing. Utapaun security. This image looks like it was ripped out of like a 2008 video game. I'm all about it. 53. The Utapauns wish to keep their homeworld out of the Clone Wars, but when they cannot prevent the war from overtaking Utapau, they fight vigorously to defend their planet as it comes under siege. Utapaun security. Looks pretty intense. Got a bunch of other winners on here. Let's open them up. Check him out, the Utapaun Warrior. I think the guy looks really cool. He actually stands up better on his own than he does with the stand. I think his peg holes are just a little bit too big for the peg that the stand has, but you can plop him down right on his own. He's not going anywhere. But yeah, appearance-wise, I think he looks really, really cool. A lot of detail went into this guy for someone that's barely on screen. I think there were more scenes intended with the Utapaun Warriors, but they were all cut. So this is kind of what we got. You can see him walking around in the background a few times, I guess. But a really cool tunic, a lot of nice like metal working on his armor. I will say it was a little tough getting the accessories in his hand. This one wasn't too bad, but the shield was kind of a pain. And the little strap attached to it is goofy. I don't know what that's about. But otherwise, the detail looks really, really nice. Pop the helmet off for a closer look. But the face sculpt is really nice. Really, some awesome paint applications on him. Looks just like the Pauans in the movie. You can see even the teeth are detailed. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Overall, a fantastic sculpt and paint design for the guy. And just to compare with the Grand Inquisitor from the Kenobi series, you can really see the difference in Pauan appearances. And this, I think, is what fans were complaining about, that this guy looks nothing like the source material from Rebels, and even Revenge of the Sith when we first meet Pauans. Compared to this guy where they really nailed the sculpt. So I don't really know why that design choice was made when they made the show. Again, I think the character's great and the actor did a good job, but it was just weird to not have him look like a normal Pauan, especially considering he was already in Rebels. But yeah, if you want to do a head swap or something, I'm sure you could with this guy, because he really looks just like you would expect a Pauan to. We get a ton of accessories here. He's got this cool little battle staff thing. That's a pretty unique sculpt. It's a little bent. I don't know if it's supposed to be bent or that's just from being in packaging for 20-something years. But it looks cool. Almost like elven. I could see this in Lord of the Rings. And the helmet, which, as we saw, looked pretty cool on the guy. Shield, again a unique sculpt for him, and it's got this sort of like rubbery thing on the back so we can grab it nice and easy. And of course we get the cool sort of terrain stand. This is one of the best parts, I think, of the Revenge of the Sith collection that I don't know, they kind of didn't really do moving forward too much, but we get a little piece of Utapau here. It looks really cool. I like the sort of the industrial platform and then covered up by the actual land. So yeah, always happy about getting these. So after fiddling with it for a bit, the strap on the shield does come off. I think this part does too, but I don't want to force it or anything. But yeah, it does unclip. I don't know if that's so that you can sort of wrap it around his back and attach it. I fiddled around with it a little bit, but I couldn't really get it. It's like just a little short. I think it would look a little goofy, but you could probably, if you really put some time in, you could reconnect that and then have him wearing the shield strapped on his back or something. I don't really know why else they would have this unattached like that, but it's an option. Articulation is actually a little bit bizarre. So he's got a ball joint head. Then, what is this? I guess he's got this swivel shoulder. And, yep, 2 swivel shoulders. Only 1 swivel elbow in his right arm. Left arm doesn't seem to have one. Then swivel waist. Swivel hips. And then ball joint feet, but nothing in the knees. So it's like a bizarre selection of articulation points. It makes him not super articulated, but kind of articulated enough, I guess. But, you know, for Revenge of the Sith figure, I guess he's okay, especially as a backgrounder. Okay, and upon further reflection, he actually does have swivel wrists. So that helps a lot. So that's the Utapaun Warrior. I like the guy. For a background character, he has, I think, an adequate amount of articulation. I don't really need him to do a whole lot. And the detail on him is really spectacular. Never would have noticed how much effort went into the costume and character design of a guy that was on screen for maybe half a second. So I really appreciate it that these types of action figures exist and are still out there for us to pick up. Definitely holds up to today's standards, at least in terms of design and appearance. So if you like these sorts of warriors, if you like the aliens and stuff like that, definitely pick him up. He's pretty cheap, so you know, don't turn him down if you get the chance. But let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.